Hey, my name is Eric. Let me demo for you the latest version of Create Decent App. It's used for creating a certain kind of web app, a web app that uses local LLMs and runs everything privately, locally, instead of going out to cloud-based services. Okay, let's demo. Okay, so you go to your trusty command line, you type in npx create decent app. This is free open source software. Okay, so then it's going to ask you, locate and install the package. Yeah, go ahead. All right, let's give it the project a different subfolder name. Let's say it's going to go here, and let's give it the name that it will display on pages. My stupid app. Okay. Now it's grabbing the template. It's generated source code for the web app. This is not a vibe coding thing. This is more traditional, just a boilerplate project generator. And then you take the source code from there after it's been created. So I'll follow directions here. It says go into the directory I just created. And let's install the node dependencies. These steps should be pretty familiar to most web app developers. Okay, then we run the development server so we can see what we got. Here we go. It's hosting on localhost port 3000. So I'll come back over here. That's previous session. Let's start with a new one. Here we go. Okay, so when you're running it locally as a developer, an extra dialog comes up, the one here, to pause loading the LLM. The thinking here is let's not load the LLM right away like we would for a regular user session, because while you're writing code, you probably got hot reload going, and every time you make some change to your source code, you don't want to automatically download this gigabytes of stuff, and there's a lot of crunching to load the LLM. So there's a pause here. We're going to say, yes, we do want to load the model. Okay. And then it's going to take the model that was previously downloaded from the internet, from Hugging Face, and put into the persistent storage of the browser. And right now it's taking about 30 seconds to transform that data into the execution-ready format that the web LLM library, which I'm using underneath the hood, needs. Okay, it's almost done with that. And we will have this is like the hello world for LLMs here. Hey, I'll say something to it. And this little character is going to interact with me. It's not so important what this guy has to say. This is just the screen that is here by default, so you can see an example of the inference working against the local LLM. Okay, so new features. Shout out also to Eduardo Worrell, who helped me write some parts of this about finding different problems when loading models. So now the developer can put not just one model, but multiple models here that are supported by the app. And the developer is going to decide for themselves which models they want to make available. What we're looking at here is not the developer experience, but the user experience. So this is what the user sees when they come to the app, and maybe they want to play with the settings, and they can see, oh, okay, I've got two options. One is auto select, and if they have auto select picked, and that's the default, the app will just pick whichever model is going to work best. Or they could pin it to a specific model that they like, and they could say, let's do Llama 8 billion. Right now, it's kind of the same thing because there's only one model available. So let's see what it looks like when we have more than one model available. I'm going to go and do a little bit of coding, tiny bit, and come over here. This unwieldy JSON file has like all the supported models in it. I'll just pick one. Let's see. 1 billion Llama. Sounds good. Let's copy the model ID there. Then let's open up the project that I just created. Stupid app. Okay, then there is this file called app.metadata.json, and right now it's just got the one model in it, but we can add another one pretty quick. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that's a new one. And then this app behavior summary is something the developer provides that gives just a little bit of context to the app user about why they might want one model or another. So I'll say, not as good as 8B, but works. I don't know that it works, actually. But so let's say maybe it works. And let's also call it a beta model. Let's see, is beta, I think is what I said would be it. Okay. So if it's a beta model, it'll be presented a little bit differently to the user. Okay, so now I've done that. Let's come back to here and let's restart this thing. Okay, now there's the same dialog that came up, this development mode dialog, pausing things, but now I've got an option to pick a different model. So I go other models, and now it says Llama 8B or Llama 1B. Okay, so this is the one I know and trust. This is a brand new one. I think I got the name of the parameter wrong. I'm going to fix that. Was it is beta or was it just beta? Let me see if that changes it. There we go. So it's got this little warning here for the user, but we're just going to pick that one. Save and exit, and let's try again. So now it's paused again, and now it's going to load 1B. So let's try this. And this one I've never used before, so I'm assuming it's going to work, but I'm kind of curious what the experience will be. Okay, that's loading pretty fast because it's a smaller model. You just download that from Hugging Face. Okay, so now it's loaded. What is your name? Now it's a lot faster, and that is nice. It loaded fast, it executes fast. It won't be as smart as the 8 billion parameter. I don't want to define smart right now, but probably like logical coherence, hallucinations, things like that. Now, I'm going to do a few more questions to it. What is your purpose? Okay, let's do one more. It's not doing bad though, because I gave it some grounding. And it's sticking to its grounding. It has a little one paragraph mythology that it follows. How were you created? Yeah, okay, cool. So let's go look at settings again. Now here's, oh, there it is. So during the session, it was measuring the speed of input and output. And it stored it not on a server. We don't store anything on the server, but it stored it locally in the persistent storage of the web browser. This information is not available to me. This information is not available to you if you're a web developer. It's available to the user of the app. That's a philosophy of decent apps, is that you keep the user's information on their machine. Okay, so then here we can see like the slower measured speed of the more complex model, Llama 8B. Okay, a few other features. So that there's a limit you can set as a user on how large of models you want to just automatically load. If you try to load a model that goes above that limit, like a warning message will come up and you can decide as a user, do I want to try this or not? If you do try it and you have this auto increase on, it will treat that as a little science experiment, and if the model is successful in loading, it'll update this max size to be equal to the new successful threshold that was found. So this whole interface here was, I chose it after crashing people's machines by attempting to load too large of models into the devices. I could go on about that, but it is possible for browser code to cause a whole operating system to freeze or reboot. So a lot of testing went into getting some safeguards around that. A lot of nice work from Peter and Eduardo in helping me test with that. Logging, we've got logging, but it doesn't go to a server. Nothing ever goes to a server with decent apps. No user data ever goes to a server. It goes to browser persistent storage. And if the user wants to file a bug report and they want like a copy of the logs to take over to it, they can just use this feature to grab it into their clipboard and they can paste it. So the user can explicitly send logs to people and it's their decision, not ours, not the developers. All right, so that's my demo of Decent Apps. This is open source software available for free. You can use it to make your apps. You can make an app like this in 30 seconds.